It always seems impossible until it's done. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, dedicated Toastmasters, and to be Toastmasters. I'm Toastmaster Rima, and I'm the standing star for today's. I welcome you all to the 125th meeting of BMC. To have a smooth meeting, we have some ground rules. Please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Do not write anything inappropriate in the chat box. If your video is on, make sure you sit in a proper upright position. We do not talk about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. I would request you to kindly put your phone on silent mode so that you don't get distracted during the meeting. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, VirtuoMasters Club also has a mission. The mission of our club is to provide a supportive and positive learning environment in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I would like to hand over the podium to someone who is magnanimous in his thoughts, generous in his actions, and gentle in his words. He is none other than the president of our club. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Anurag Jain.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rima, for such a wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, dedicated Toastmasters, and to be Toastmasters. I welcome you all to the 125th meeting of VirtuoMasters Club. 125. 125. You know, it was one person's idea to create a virtual club. It took 20 members to charter VirtuoMasters Club. And 5 is like these 5 different fingers. People at VirtuoMasters Club are all different. People belonging to different age brackets, different experiences, different personalities, but all are bound by this palm that is VirtuoMasters Club. My dear family members, wherever VirtuoMasters is today, it is because of your support, your love, and your contribution. This 125th couldn't have been possible without your support to our club. I thank each and every one of you for your time that you have invested, for your support, your love, your care that you have shown towards VirtuoMasters Club. And with this, I would like to acknowledge certain district dignitaries in the house present today. First, I would like to acknowledge distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Helen Ghosh. Currently, she is the district mentor of District 124. She has been the past district director of District 41. She has also been a charter member of VirtuoMasters Club. I thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jenny ma'am, for gracing us with your presence today. Can we have a few words from you?
I'm looking forward to this wonderful debate which you all are putting up on your 125th. And I'm looking forward to many, many more milestones that VirtuoMasters can achieve in the years to come. And I said years to come means I'm really looking forward to years to come with you all. All the very best. It's lovely to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny ma'am, for your kind words. I hope you continue to extend this support. I hope you continue to extend your love and support to each and every one of us. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our Division J PR Manager, that is Toastmaster Seema Ramesh. She's joining us from outside India, I guess. So Toastmaster Seema, can we have you on the podium to share a few words?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. you so much, Mr. President, and you guessed right. I'm not here in India, but my heart will always be with VirtuoMasters Club. And I sincerely apologize for not being able to attend regularly, but today I thought I would really want to step in and see what's happening, because 125th meeting is a huge, huge milestone. And I'm really glad that most of our members have also joined in. And I need to make a special mention for Jenny ma'am as well, because she is one of a kind. She'll make it a point to be anywhere in any club and grace the occasion. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you everyone in VirtuoMasters Club.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seema, for your kind words. And truly, truly, wherever Jenny ma'am goes, happiness follows. Like, be it a virtual room or a physical room, happiness will be all around her. So thank you, Toastmaster Seema. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Area J2 Director, Toastmaster Biswaraj Biswas, for his presence today. Can I have Toastmaster Biswaraj on the podium to share a few words?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. And first of all, apologies for not being able to turn on my camera right now. I would like to congratulate all the members of VirtuoMasters Club for this 125th session. This is a huge occasion for one of the major milestones, and I hope we'll have a wonderful session all along the way with a lot of learning for all of us to partake as we leave for the day. Thank you so much. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Biswaraj, for your kind words. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Area K3 Director, Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh. Can I have Toastmaster Gayatri for the very first time at VirtuoMasters Club to please come up on the podium and share some words, some thoughts?
Thank you so much for such kind words. And I'm really looking forward to the meeting. I got to know about this club from my very dear friend Shilpa. And she's usually involved in all the exciting things. So I knew it would be exciting. So I'm right here to watch. And as somebody who comes from legal background, where there is a debate, we have to come and watch. So I'm really looking forward to some really strong arguments made on both the sides. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri, for gracing us with your presence. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of some of our fellow Toastmasters from different clubs. First, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Toastmaster Ronak. Thank you, Toastmaster Ronak, for joining us for today's vDebate session.
Thank you, Anurag. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible and perfectly visible and looking very handsome and bright.
Thank you. He was supposed to be my mentee one time, and now now he's the president. So
this is what happens by the touch of the master's hand.
No worries. It's great to be here. Means this is my first meeting and I'll be participating. So I hope it grows well. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ronak. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of another district dignitaries, that is Distinguished Toastmaster Archita Tiwari. So can I have Distinguished Toastmaster Archita on the podium to share a few words for VirtuoMasters Club?
Hi guys, I'll switch on my video towards the end, I believe. But thank you so much for having me here. I'm really looking forward to this amazing debate. I wish all the participants all the very best. Let's have a fantastic event ahead. Hello, Krish. Hi, Shilpa. Hi, Gayatri. Hello, everyone else. Good afternoon, Jenny ma'am. Hello, Seema ma'am. Hi, Rami, Rupesh ji, Amrish ji. Hello, everyone. All the best and see you soon.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Archita. Currently, Distinguished Toastmaster Archita is the Division Director of Division H. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of some of other club members, that is Toastmaster Sohail. He's the Vice President Education of TMKTC. So thank you, Toastmaster Sohail, for joining us for the vDebate session.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Hope to have a great session today.
Thank you. And I would also like to greet some of the guests that are present in our club. Can we have Brijesh on the podium. Can you please tell us something about you and how did you come to know about VMC?
Yeah. So, hello, good evening, everyone. So, first of all, I would like to thanks Dr. Rupesh Kumar Singh because of them only because of him only I got this opportunity to be a part of this particular, discussion. And I was hearing everyone till now, so I'm really excited to know the next step of this particular discussion and how beautiful this discussion will be. So, thanks again for giving me this opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Brijesh. I hope you have a wonderful session ahead. Next, I would also like to welcome the First Lady of Area J2, that is Toastmaster Paromita. So Toastmaster Paromita, can we have you on the podium?
Hey, hi everyone. I have joined this club for the second time. I used to join when Pratiti was there. So just looking for a very wonderful debate. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paromita, for gracing us with your presence. And without any further ado, now I would like to hand over the podium to the Associate District Public Relations Manager of District 124. She's also the charter member of VirtuoMasters Club. And it is on her shoulders that this vDebate of VirtuoMasters Club has been revived today. We thank you, Toastmaster Shilpa, for taking up this mammoth task. And with this, I hand over the podium to you to conduct a wonderful vDebate session. Thank you, and over to you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for that wonderful introduction. Also, by saying this, you have given me this responsibility that every month I have to organize this debate, right? Because the vDebate concept was that we will have a debate every month. I am not going to organize it every month, so don't expect this from me. Okay. Okay, anyways, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I think I am very clearly audible. Yes, okay, thank you. So I would not delay much and I will start with the debate right on. But before that, let me tell you about some timing rules of the debate first. The timer for the today's session is Toastmaster Amrish, and he will be displaying the color green card and red card only. He will show green card at the end of 2 minutes 30 seconds for the opening and the closing speaker, and he will show the red card at 3 minutes. Then he will show the green card at 1 minute 30 seconds for the rebuttal speakers and red card on 2 minutes for the rebuttal speakers. So basically at the end of the maximum time allotted, he will show the red card. There will be a grace period of 10 seconds, after which the speaker will be muted by the tech master or by the timer. I think I'm clear with the timing rules. Okay. For connectivity issues, in case there is a connectivity issue with any member for less than 15 seconds, we will wait. No extra time is given. Speaker continues from where he or she has stopped. If it is more than 15 seconds, we will give them 1 minute extra time and the speaker has to continue from where they have stopped. But if the speaker is unable to join back within 1 minute, a member from the team can speak on his behalf, and that member will be allowed to start from the beginning. I hope I am also clear on connectivity issues. Okay. Also, throughout the debate, all the participants has to keep their video on. And only the speakers who is speaking will be on unmute. Okay, participants, do not turn off your video while the debate is going on. And no one will write anything in the chat box while the debate is going on. So these are the basic rules of debate, and let me introduce the teammates of the debate. The affirmative team speaking for the motion is Team Dynamite with the team captain Toastmaster Ronak. The opening speaker A1 will be Toastmaster Ronak. The rebuttal speaker A2 will be Toastmaster Rima. The rebuttal speaker A3 will be Toastmaster Orithro. And the closing speaker A4 will be Toastmaster Ronak again. For the negative team, speaking against the motion is Team Mavericks, whose captain is Toastmaster Sohail. In his team, the opening speaker N1 is Toastmaster Sumit. The rebuttal speaker N2 is Toastmaster Abhijit. The rebuttal speaker N3 is Toastmaster Shruti. And the closing speaker is Toastmaster Sohail. I hope all the participants are there in the room. Techmaster, can you confirm me?
Yes, all the participants are there in the room.
Okay. Let me perform a quick readiness test. Timer, are you ready? Please indicate me with the thumbs up. Okay. Participants, are you all ready? You all also can indicate me with a thumbs up. Okay. Fine. Judges do not need to tell me if they are ready or not. I'm considering they are ready. Audience, are you ready? Yes. Okay. So now it's time to start the debate. The
Ronak
motion.
has a question, I think.
Okay.
Is it possible to repeat the timer's name? I'll just Amrish. Okay.
Toastmaster Amrish. Toastmaster Amrish, could you please just show them once the red card and the green card?
Yes, please.
I think it is visible now.
Yes, it is
Yes,
visible.
yes, it's visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So shall we start now? The motion in front of the house is history should be a mandatory subject in school. History should be a mandatory subject in school. I would like to call upon the opening speaker from the team speaking for the motion, the A1 speaker, Toastmaster Ronak. Techmaster, please spotlight A1 speaker, Toastmaster Ronak. Debater, are you ready?
Shall I begin?
Oh, you should say yes, so
Yes.
that I know that you are audible.
I
also.
was showing a thumbs up.
Okay, okay. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Good afternoon and good evening, rather, ladies and gentlemen, members of the House, and of course, my most worthy opponents. Today, the topic before us is history should be mandatory subject in schools. And I, as a member of the proposition, shall prove to you how true this statement is. I'll ask you a very simple question. Independence Day is coming up, right? Why we feel pride and we feel so proud about the fact that our country is independent? Why is it that we feel that our chests become broad, or we feel that our fires running through our veins when we hear that our country was independent so long ago? It's because we've learned about it. We've learned about it in history. We've learned about it in our schools. I am a medical student. I didn't take history in 11, 12 or further on, but I still know about it, right? Why? Because in my schooling, I learned about it. I got to know about the rich culture, the way the people have fought for this country, have learned and have fought for the independence of this country. The second thing I would like to bring up today is culture. I'm sure all of us here who are parents, and those who especially my generation have heard our parents say that you don't have that culture which we used to have, right? I'm sure many of us parents here have also said it to their children that you don't have that culture. Why is it so? It is because we are gradually getting urbanized, right? One thing which is preventing us from doing so, or one thing which is still imbibing us with the culture, with the rich history, is the subject in school. Schooling plays a basic foundation for a child. A child learns a lot in his school. And if in school itself, history is not mandatory, trust me, most of us or many of us would not learn it. And gradually, they would not understand the importance of the historic events that have happened. Though they will gradually lose what is their culture and everything. There has recently been a study as well in South Africa, where a task force was investigating whether history was important and how it should be made mandatory in 11-12 as well, so that they learn about the rich culture about their country, about what battles have been fought, about what has happened exactly. Today, as the affirmative speaker of speaking for the motion, I hopefully will convince you at the end of the debate, that this motion will truly stand. Further on, for my team, many participants will be coming up. They will be telling you why and how history is important, and how we we learn from the origin of why anything is important. We learn from the origin of anything. For example, many influences which play from the past have influence today. Like, for example, the drainage system of the Harappan civilization or the Indus Valley civilization plays a role today as well. I hope by the end of the debate, my teammates and I will convince you how this motion is truly valid. And I, as the closing speaker, will be coming back to further sum up my team's points. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmasters.
Now we'll have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Timer, please tell me once the 1 minute will be over. Thank you, Toastmaster Amrish. Let's move on to our next speaker, who is speaking against the motion, Team 2, Toastmaster Sohail. Sorry, Toastmaster Sohail is the captain. And first N1 speaker is Toastmaster Sumit. Techmaster, can you please spotlight Toastmaster Sumit? Yes. Debater, are you ready? You are not audible.
Okay.
You are on
audible now. Am I ready? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, excellent.
Over
Thank
to you, Toastmaster Sumit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the motion in the House today is history should be mandatory in the textbooks. Well, I firmly oppose the motion. History, unlike science, is not a subject that has a scientific bias. We rely on subjective interpretations, and we rely on perceptions of historians many years ago. Are you willing to tell the students of today to learn from something that is purely based on interpretation? The answer, perhaps, is no. Let us go back to the independence movement. We attained independence after a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices. The work of a lot of freedom fighters contributed towards it. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose played a valiant role in liberating us from the clutches of British colonial independence. But do we still have him as the freedom fighter? No, that's perhaps because there's a selective bias in contributing towards other freedom fighters. Why does that happen? That happens because historians have typically chosen other freedom fighters and given them more precedence. Therefore, history has its own set of bias, interpretation, and therefore we are not relying completely on facts. A previous speaker talked about the Indus Valley civilization, a very good point. Many years ago, 5,000 years ago, the Indus Valley civilization was far advanced than its age. And even today, after all the technology, all the know-how, all the scientific tools available, we are still not able to decipher their script. Have you asked yourself why? Was it perhaps because the Indus Valley civilization, the people there wanted to keep it a secret, the history guarded, or is it because there is no solution available and perhaps historians failed there to interpret it? which also means that the students of today are studying incomplete history. I ask you, if you were served incomplete or half-baked food, would you like to eat it? Perhaps the answer is no. So our students are being served incomplete history, and which is why I don't think it remains a mandatory subject anymore. Look at the Mughal Darbars. The people there who visited, historians there who visited, were given such fantastic treatment that they had to write a positive account of the Mughal era. So we hear rosy picture of the Mughal era every time. Why is it that? Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The time has finally come to liberate history from the clutches of textbooks and move it away. Many years later, when all of us sitting in the room are mere fossils, let us give a chance to the people in the future to decipher that fossil and tell us, maybe many years later, where we were wrong, where we were right, pick up our good points and move forward. Wouldn't you agree? Thank you.
Now we'll have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you, Toastmaster Amrish. Now I would like to call the rebuttal speaker from the team speaking for the motion, A2 speaker, Toastmaster Rima. Toastmaster Anurag, can you please spotlight Toastmaster Rima? Debater, are you ready?
Yes.
Over to you, Toastmaster Rima.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, dear judges, and my worthy walkers. As my previous speaker, my opponent said that history is giving us incomplete knowledge. But let me tell you all, whether it's giving us incomplete knowledge, but how we gain that much knowledge also. Whether it's about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, whether it's our various Indian history heroes who have sacrificed their life, how we came to know about them by learning history. As we know that Mughal have done lots of improvement things in that time in their society. And let me tell you, by learning history, today also, we are following those rules that what past things happened before. But it was a mistake, we are not repeating it. Let me tell you this land taxation. You know, my dear Toastmasters, our finance minister is still following those history period when Akbar used to rule, and his finance minister, Raja Todam brought out a land taxation that is still followed now. How we came to know about that? It is through history. As next week, we are going to celebrate our Independence Day. Why we are celebrating Independence Day? From whom we got this freedom? How we are coming to know? It is through history only the children will get to learn about it, and how our heroes have sacrificed their life to make our Indians free from the tortures and free from those Britishers. History is mandatory for today's generation to know that what happened in past. They need to know the roots from where they belong, the human evolution. If they don't know this, how they will respect and how they will shape it, their present and future. History is a mandatory subject in school, which will help today's generation to figure it out, that what happened and how they will stop in future and how they will utilize it. So I will suggest, yes, history is a mandatory subject.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rima. Now we'll have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you. Next, I would like to call the rebuttal speaker from the team speaking against the motion, speaker N2, Toastmaster Abhijit. Techmaster, please spotlight Toastmaster Abhijit. Okay, he is. Debater, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Over to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to all the Toastmasters and dear guest. The topic is history should be a mandatory subject. So over the past decades, we are trying to emphasize on education more and more. Why are we emphasizing on education? Because it is very evident that education is the backbone of your disciplined life. Now, we are talking about history. We have always read about dates when a particular emperor was born, when he passed away. Did it actually create an impact in our lives? Nowadays, it's very much evident that crime rates are increasing in the world spontaneously. So are we actually through history, are we actually creating any kind of changes are we creating any kind of changes and are we decreasing the crime rates in this generation? No, rather mostly we should always emphasize on social sciences, or there has to be some education provided towards leading a good life and stop creating any kind of heinous crimes. Also, we are observing that in certain missionary schools, the main focus of students are to increase grades rather than actually educating them. And it has been always observed. Personally, I've observed that history is the source through which we can actually increase grades, because we can easily mug up things. So where
Now I would like to call our next speaker speaking for the motion, A3, speaker Toastmaster Orithro. Techmaster, please spotlight Toastmaster Orithro.
We need to wait for judges to mark the ballot.
Oh, I just forgot. Yes, 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot.
One minute is over.
Thank you, timer. Now I would like to call our next rebuttal speaker speaking for the motion. A3 speaker, Toastmaster Orithro, and I can see he's already spotlighted. Debate, are you ready?
Yes.
Over to you, Toastmaster Orithro.
Thank you. Good evening, all the panelists, judges, and my dear fellow Toastmasters. Let me just begin by saying that history is not about mugging things up. It's about the essence of it is, taking from the event what has worked historically and what has not. And it's not like mugging up is something, or cramming in general is something related to social science itself. It's not confided to that. I mean, all the, laws of motion by Newton, all the 3 laws, you have mugged it up. The entire organic chemistry and like inorganic chemistry is mugging formulae up. All the exceptions you learn in chemistry is mugging things up. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, you have mugged those up. There's no logic to, why 3 comes after 2 or 4 comes after before 5. So there is, fair bit of mugging up in all the subjects. So that is my first point. Secondly, my learned friend Toastmaster Nitish said that science is people should be focusing on science instead of social sciences in general, especially like history, which is subjective in nature. Absolutely, I 100% agree that it is subjective in nature, because it's a recollection of an event, and different people recollect an event in a different manner. For example, if it were my birthday yesterday, I would have a different recollection of it, and my friend who attended the party would have a different recollection. So the solution to that is not discard the subject altogether, but to read matter, the same perspective from different authors, so that you get a more holistic view. And sir, as far as science is concerned, I think the works of Pythagoras and Euclid has traveled to us through history. Like, these are some of the scientists who existed before the Christ was born. And thank God we had good record keepers, so that we have Pythagoras theorem, we have Euclid's distance and stuff. Apart from that, I think
Toastmaster Orithro, you are muted. I think there is some issue because I think he already have some time still with him. Toastmaster Amrish?
No.
Okay,
2
fine.
minutes, huh? 2 minutes.
Yes, 2 minutes. Okay. So we'll have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you, Toastmaster Amrish. Now I would like to call on stage our N3 speaker speaking against the motion, Toastmaster Shruti.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Shruti.
Good afternoon, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thomas Jefferson once said, I would like to look at the readings of the future as compared to that of the past. My fellow Toastmaster just before me said that we learned about scientific history to history books. Let me clarify, that was present inside the very science books that we have read as a separate topic and not as an entire subject. So we have not read history about those people through a book, but rather as a subtopic. And we are dealing with how the
like how should history be a mandatory subject as a whole? Second thing, history does not bring to us the very important skills of creative thinking, opinion building, critical thinking into us. All it does is not a bit of cramming, but a lot of cramming. From the first standard up to the end of the last standard, all we do is cram, and even the teacher sleeps. History can be taught by the means of dramas, by means of passing of words. How have we learned history throughout the ages about Subhash Chandra Bose? Has it been always through textbooks? No, it has been through our parents, through our surroundings. Whereas science needs a more person who is better experienced and has conceptual knowledge via which we can understand. History also does not tell us about the harms that we are doing to the environment. Please remember, the environment, the problems that are related to the environment are a very recent concepts that has been just introduced, and the change that has to be brought out has to be understood right now. Well, nostalgia of the past is very good, but we have to build the future, and to build the future, we need financial literacy, we need numerical literacy, we need awareness of the environment, which is not present amongst our youth. Also, employability associated with history is very minimal, and mostly people go for historians. So let the students who are very good in history take up history, and let not it be enforced upon the people. So to take it up and read it throughout their lives as or up to the school as a mandatory subject. That is my time. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Let's have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you. Now I would like to call our closing speaker from the team speaking for the motion, A4 speaker, Toastmaster Ronak. Techmaster, please spotlight Toastmaster Ronak. Okay, Toastmaster Ronak, are you ready?
Am I audible? Could you please check?
Yes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Ronak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shilpa. Now, let me begin by one thing. Let me clarify the motion a little for my opponents. It's history should be a mandatory subject, not the only subject. If you expect that history will give you creative thinking and teaching us about the environment and everything, trust me, no subject teaches about everything. You want to talk about science? Science doesn't teach us about the environment. It doesn't give us creative thinking. I am becoming a doctor. Trust me, science is mostly about mugging up and scoring hits. So now next point was that you said about history can be taught only through textbooks. We are saying history should be taught in schools. It's not necessary through textbooks. I don't know about your school, everyone, but my school had plays. They had many different ways to teach history. History, we are not talking about textbooks. We are talking about that it should be taught in schools, and it should be a mandatory subject, that the method of teaching can be different, but the history should be taught. Someone mentioned about incomplete food, that would you like incomplete food, incomplete knowledge. So does that mean as long as the food is completed, you won't taste it? You won't take any tries about it, it's good or not? And if you don't get any knowledge, you want the full knowledge, or you don't want anything? Which means that if you understand or discover something, let it be a secret till the time everything is discovered, and then we get to know about it. Trust me, that will never happen. Nothing in life can be explored completely. One more point you mentioned about was that we as fossils should get, like when we become fossils, they will study about us and let them decide. If history is not a mandatory subject, trust me, nobody will get to know it. Every one of us here, I can tell you that will not study history in deep unless it's mandatory. And mandatory is so that we get to know about the information. To sum up I'm sure everyone of us here has heard my whole team speak, right? Now, to sum up my team's stance is that History is important. It is mandatory, and especially in schooling life, because in schooling life we are taught how to learn, how to enjoy, and how to understand. Schooling is the basis of foundation. And if you don't start it from the very basics, trust me, and when we get to 15, 16, 20, we will not be interested, because that time we'll be focusing on our careers, on our life, and we will not be focusing on learning what happened before. And with that, we'll gradually and specifically lose our culture, our upbringing, our every knowledge. Trust me, you don't want your son or daughter or any child not to know what happened in the past. You won't want them to go to a tourist location and not understand what is happening. Why is that important? Why are we learning about it? Why is this so important to us? Can you tell me one last, I'll end this by last point. Do you know which channel the Independence Day program is shown? Can anyone answer that? Half of us here will not know, because we are gradually losing. It comes on DD channel, we need to watch it. And trust me, if we gradually and specifically lose our history, we will lose everything. Because a person who does not know his personal history will definitely is like a tree losing its roots, and therefore has no value. Thank you.
Let's have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you, timer. Now I would like to call the last speaker, the closing speaker from the team speaking against the motion, N4 speaker, Toastmaster Sohail. Debater, are you ready? Debater, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, over to you, Toastmaster Sohail.
Good evening, everyone present here. My name is Sohail Jain, and today I'm strongly against the motion. History should be a mandatory subject in school. Whenever you hear the word mandatory, what do you feel? You feel a resistance. You have to do that. But history, is it that important? Because history is prevalent in every subject. When you are talking about languages or maths, maybe English for an example, you are learning the history by studying Shakespeare and Shakespearean language. You're already learning history in different languages. So is it necessary to create a different history subject where it is a mandate to study what is the height of Qutub Minar? Yes, as our fellow honorable opponent said, that when you're going to a tourist place, it is very important to remember the things. But my fellow friend, you have studied the height of Qutub Minar back in your class 2 or 3 if you were an ICSC. And do you require that in life? No. But English is necessary for survival. Computer is necessary for survival. Staying in the present is needed for survival. And in computers, I learned about Charles Babbage. That is history. In history books, I never learned about Charles Babbage. Well, also as our fellow opponent spoke about Akbar, that is the problem of history. It speaks about Akbar's land revenue laws, but it was actually implemented from Sher Shah Suri. And that is where you are wrong. I got to know all my life that Thomas Alva Edison is the founder of electricity. But when I grew up, I gradually got to know it was Nikola Tesla. And it was all the monetization policies because of which a person could not come ahead. I would also like to say that in history, you need different types of books, which my fellow speaker Orithro said. You need a lot of books. But is that possible in school? that is not possible in school. In school, you only have 1 or 2 books. So having a different type of authors cannot make a subject mandatory. If you make it mandatory, you only get limited knowledge. I feel history is important. It is actually important and it is prevalent in many subjects. Study history, but don't make it mandatory. Like in our class 11 and 12s, we get the choice. We get the freedom. Freedom is important. We get the choice to choose science or commerce. Now imagine a person studying commerce and he wanted to study science and he was forced to study commerce. That is what I want to talk about. History should not be made a mandatory subject in school. It should be a subject in school. Thank you.
Let's have 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Sorry, let's have 3 minutes silence for the judges to mark the ballot. I think until the judges are giving their results to the tally counter, we can talk. Let's forget about the 3 minute silence. It's too much. Okay, so I would first like to have some feedback from few of the members. I can see Panna ma'am is here, Satyadeep sir is here. Thank you, Panna ma'am and Satyadeep for joining today's session, even though Panna ma'am is traveling, but she has joined, so kudos to ma'am. Panna ma'am is the one, she have, when I became the member of VirtuoMasters Club, it was just 2 months and ma'am asked in the group that should we all have debate in VMC? And I said, I gave a thumbs up that yes, we should have. And then ma'am said, oh, thank you, Shilpa, you are the first participant. And I was like, huh? What? I actually didn't want to participate, but automatically I got into debate. And when I first had, like for the first time, it was when I participated in a debate and I really enjoyed it a lot. Throughout the process, the learning process, the speaking process, and later on getting the best speaker award process, everything was very nice. And from there onwards, I was a bit inclined towards debates, and I requested our EC members that time to let's have this debate every month so that members can learn, they can coordinate among themselves, a bond can be created among them. And like this, today we are here with the 10th version of vDebate, even though I think there was no need of showing red card because I have already removed the 3 minute options. Okay, so even though it should not be version 10, it should be at least version 25, I guess, because for the past 6 months when I was the Vice President Education of VirtuoMasters Clubs, it was very difficult for me to arrange vDebate because getting the role players is so difficult for a VP Education that organizing a debate and managing 8 participants, it becomes a task. So for 6 months, we didn't have any debate. And now because I'm no more a VP Education, so I can come back with vDebate. Now even though I'm ADPRM, but still I can manage some educational part also. So I am back with vDebate 10.0 and I wish that I can keep on organizing it. Okay, Toastmaster Archita, thank you for being here. Okay, now I would like to have some feedback from the members who were listening to the debaters. Toastmaster.
Shilpa, just 1 second, if I may.
Yes, yes.
With your permission.
Yes.
Guys, I have another meeting to join at 5, but I would really like to thank the executive committee of VMC, especially our assistant district public relations manager, Toastmaster Shilpa, for inviting me here. I always enjoy debating and I thoroughly have a great time. And thank you so much for inviting me. I will take your leave. I wish I could stay and chit chat with everyone here. Good afternoon, Satyadeep Da. Good afternoon, Panna ma'am. Bye, Jenny ma'am. You look beautiful as always. My God, you're glowing 24/7. I look like a semi-beggar at this moment. So I'm not switching on my webcam, but God, she's glowing all the time. Okay. Big fan. All right. I will take your leave. I love you too, Jenny ma'am. And great going, guys. Hope to join the VMC meeting very, very soon. I will trouble Krish for that. Bye, Krish.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Archita, for taking your time to be here. And she is, I think, a champion debater in her college or in her school or where, I don't know, but she was a champion debater. She could tell
Shilpa,
better.
that hurt. That genuinely hurt. 2-time national champion of debating.
Okay, yeah, she has been that level of debater. Yeah. Thank you for the knowledge, Archita.
Chalo, bye. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, I would also like to hear from Jenny ma'am. How was your experience for this debate? Ma'am, you are on mute.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I had a wonderful time listening to all the rebuttals and so beautifully conducted by you. Let me tell you that you are just going higher and higher to reach new skies. So I'm really very proud of you, Shilpa. And all the debaters were astonishing. How did they get, certain things to sort of rebuttal on the other team? I was lost for words. I was just thinking, what were they doing in the background? They must have been preparing so hard, and each and every one has performed outstandingly. So I am really very, very proud of all of you all. So don't worry, there is no losers, no winners. Whoever comes as a winner is just because of the judge's decision, but you are all winners in my opinion. God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like Toastmaster Gayatri for her feedback. How did you like this debate today?
I love debates and today was also very exciting. I particularly liked the calm and composed nature of the constructive speakers. But I enjoyed more when all the rest of the speakers started getting aggressive in their rebuttals and their refutals. I loved it. The aggression at one point even made me feel like maybe I'm watching a TV debate now. It was like the intensity. It was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri, for being here. And it is the first time that you have been in VirtuoMasters Club, so we are very happy to have you here today. I'm sure all the members got to know you. A lot of members doesn't know a lot of senior members. So when we keep on coming like this, they also get to know us. And we also get to know them.
Thank you so much for inviting. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, can I ask the debaters also for their experience? Who are the ones who were taking part in debate for the first time? Shruti or Ritro? Okay, you both were for the first time debating in a debate. So how was your experience? Let us ask from Shruti first.
It was great. Like, I love researching on topics, but I've never spoken on them. So it was amazing preparing for it, and the adrenaline before and after the meeting, and realizing that you can be very aggressive, but you can be disciplined at the same time was a new experience for me today.
Okay, next Auditro, can I have a feedback from you?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I mean, the adrenaline is something you don't feel in prepared speech or, during table topic session, because you're not competing against someone. Here, you sort of are. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
So you would like to participate again in a debate, then only I will organize the next debate. If I'll not get participants, I will not organize it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you are giving this word in front of 22 people that you will participate in debate. Okay. And you will not back out.
No.
Okay, cool.
Can we have fun for old people like me?
Yes, ma'am. But there is no age bar for debate. Anyone can participate. We have Toastmaster Sumit. He is the newest member in VirtuoMasters Clubs. He joined today only our club. And Toastmaster Sumit, how was your experience? First time in the club, and you are participating in debate. You are on mute, Toastmaster Sumit.
Yeah, sorry, I've been not used to Zoom, we used to Teams, but yeah, thank you for the warm welcome. It was like a pilot landing on a very narrow stretch of runway because I'm coming back after about 3.5 years in Toastmasters and joining and straight away into a debate. So it felt very good, and seeing some of the veteran, members and guiding lights like Jenny ma'am and I think there's also I don't see him now. Yes, of course. Sorry, I forgot the name.
Seema ma'am, I think you were talking about
DTM Satyadeep and Seema. So of course I've interacted with them before, but after a long time coming back, it feels nice. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Even though you all get very short time, you just got one day. I have given the topic only yesterday, whereas normally we give these topics at least 2-3 days before to prepare. So I must say that you have done a very good job by preparing in just a day, not even a full day. You got a half day. Like I would not be able to take part and speak in such a short time. So I really appreciate you all. Okay, now I have the result, so I can announce the result. And after announcing the result, I would request everyone to stay back. Toastmaster Ashutosh have a very creative and unique type of table topic session with us. He always brings up something very different. So please be there. He must take us through a kind of game or something, I don't know, but he is always something different. So please do also attend the table topic session. This is a session where I always afraid. So I'll explain the what happens in table topic session later, but let me announce the winners first. So the best team I'll ask Toastmaster Anurag to announce because I'm not getting understand what he has written. So Toastmaster Anurag, please announce the winners.
The best team is there's a tie between both of them.
What? Seriously?
Yes. Seriously, there's a tie, like literally, and the margin is also extremely less.
Okay, this never happened before. So anyways, both the team, there's a draw between both the teams. So I don't know what to say, but congratulations to both the
Joint
teams.
winners.
What winners?
Joint.
Joint winners. Like I am now thinking, how will I make the poster for them? But anyways, kudos to you all. Both the team have spoken really very well, actually. And who is the best speaker?
The best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Shruti.
Oh, Toastmaster Shruti. Congratulations, Toastmaster Shruti. Taking part in debate for the first time and becoming the best debater. Congratulations. This happened with me also. Panna ma'am would remember that when I took part in debate for the first time, I was best debater that day. Okay, next session, the debate is, I would request all the members to please stay back. Normally in a Toastmaster meeting, we have 3 sections, that is table topic section, prepared speech section, general evaluation section. We are having a table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Anurag, and we have a table topic master, Toastmaster Ashutosh for today. He will give you an interesting table topic session today. And I would request you to participate in his table topic session. Normally, a table topic session is a session where you learn about your impromptu skills. Like as you members said that it's hard to speak in debate, whereas it's easy to speak normally in a table topic session because you don't have, in a prepared speech section because you don't have to compete with anyone. Table topic session is a session where you need to think quick and you have to speak quick. So I would not delay much and I would just hand over it to Toastmaster Ashutosh. He can explain the timing rules for the table topics. And don't call me for the table topic session.